Many medical professionals operate under the assumption that witnessing a high volume of airway procedures builds the competence required to perform them under pressure. But relying on past experience to navigate an acute crisis forces a clinician to improvise. Without a strict decision algorithm, the mind defaults to guesswork. The DAGIT reveals a gap. High exposure to routine intubations does not correlate with the ability to manage an unpredicted complication when the patient crashes. We see the symptoms of this gap every day. A clinician hesitating on the next step, a high-risk patient unrecognized until they desaturate, or a team scrambling to define roles while the clock runs down. These failures aren't caused by a lack of clinical experience. They are caused by a flaw in systems architecture, the absence of a structured method to guide the intervention. Securing the airway requires abandoning experience-based improvisation. It demands a rigid, structured framework designed specifically for the clinician who is not an anesthesiologist. This is the logic of the AWANDA method, the airway with no damage approach. It is a system designed to deconstruct and standardize airway safety. Built from first principles, this framework strips away traditional clinical dogma to focus strictly on the immutable variables that dictate whether a procedure succeeds or fails. The method is divided into 5 core pillars that convert a chaotic emergency into a standardized procedure. Mastering these 5 foundational pillars shifts the medical professional from passively observing chaotic procedures to actively controlling the entire clinical environment. This graphic displays the safe apnea windows for 3 unique physiological profiles. Treating an infant like a small adult or an obese patient like a healthy one leads to critical errors. An infant's physiology provides a very narrow margin, only 45 to 90 seconds of safe apnea before severe desaturation. An obese adult offers a slightly wider window, their oxygen reserve depleting in 2 to 3 minutes. In contrast, a pre-oxygenated healthy adult can maintain safe oxygenation for up to 10 minutes. Safety begins with the math. A clinician must calculate the precise time remaining before desaturation based on the specific patient in front of them. Because the safe apnea window is absolute and unforgiving, physiological profiling is the foundation of clinical safety. Airway difficulty isn't a static trait of the patient. It is a dynamic equation composed of 3 concurrent situational variables. The first axis is the patient. This includes age, baseline physiology, and medical history. The second axis is the context, level of care, available equipment, and time of day. The third axis is human talent, accounting for recent training, exposure volume, and team composition. A routine procedure can become deadly if the clinician fails to evaluate all 3 axes before they ever touch the patient. Beyond individual risk, we must look at institutional mechanics. Top-tier hospitals don't measure success by the simple binary of whether a patient was intubated. Instead, they monitor specific indicators: the first attempt success rate, complication rates, and strict adherence to protocol. These institutions use closed-loop communication to prevent misunderstandings under extreme pressure. Orders are repeated and verified before action is taken. This requires predefining exact roles within the first 60 seconds, eliminating ambiguity before the procedure begins. High-level airway management is the process of organizing a team to execute a measurable protocol. It separates a methodical response from a chaotic reaction. Identifying apnea times, predicting 3-axis risk, and organizing teams under high-performance metrics creates the boundary between merely seeing procedures and dominating the airway. While we can outline the theory here, mastering the sequential implementation requires a dedicated academic environment. The AWANDA system was created by Dr. Eduardo Lema Flores, an active anesthesiologist and associate professor at the Universidad del Valle. Learning from a practitioner who operates at this systemic level is the most reliable way to upgrade your clinical toolkit. In July 2026, Dr. Lema Flores will host a free live AWANDA masterclass at 7 p.m., designed for general practitioners, specialists, ER doctors, pediatricians, intensivists, paramedics, and respiratory therapists. No academic prerequisites are required. The class is built to build upon your existing clinical experience. You can secure your spot using the link provided. Capacity is limited to maintain live interaction during the session. This masterclass is the gateway into the broader AWANDA program, supported by Fundación Salamandra. For operational details, you can contact the team directly via WhatsApp.